Excellent stuff. Alright, so as soon as we put out here, whoa, hold on there again. That's a surprise, just testing you guys, just testing. So as first thing you're going to see as we come down the start finish straight here, on the left hand side is the pit lane. So get your cameras out, get some pictures, see any action that's going on, sort of pre-FP3. It's always a good time, good opportunity to see the guys testing their pit stop strategies and pit stops running.
Yes, so at this time the teams are already focusing on the next full practice. Of course, yesterday they missed half an hour of full practice, which I'm sure in a new track like this, and it's very slippery track, so new for everyone. It's very valuable to have 20 to 30 minutes more of full practice of data. So I'm sure all the teams they did have a very long night, just checking all the data they have, trying to make the car better, and so the drivers can feel much better today in this session just before qualifying. So it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Taking the atmosphere here as things ramp up. Left hand side, obviously, you've got lots of action going on there. Pit lane walkabout, and all the teams getting ready. Last little setup changes on the car, getting ready for FP3 shortly. So as we come down into turn one, we've just gone past the braking zone. You see the left hand side, the curbs there look a little bit different to anywhere else we go. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So they take nice early apex into this corner, and then what you find is like a V shape. So although this is a long U-shaped corner, the guys will go quite deep into turn one. They'll go wide, and then they want to come back. So as they come into section and part two of the corner, they want to hug the left hand side here, so that they open up turn 3 and 4. Alright, so turn 3 and 4, the entry is super high speed, and the guys want to carry a lot of speed through here. It's a high downforce corner. You want to talk us through turn 4?
Yeah, well, yesterday we saw different lines during this first section of the track. Of course, the drivers were trying to find the perfect lap, and with different cars and different cars configurations, we will talk later about how the downforce of the cars are here. But the drivers were trying to find the better line for the cars. Some guys did go close to the wall, some others didn't. So just, of course, in this track we have 2 long straights, which we're coming now to the first one. So they will prioritize the exit speed of the corner. So they have to lose a little bit on the corner speed. If they go fast to the end of the straight, that's where they will win a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's talking about the downforce on the corners. These guys are carrying 3.5 G through that corner and for a sustained 5 or 6 seconds, which is pretty serious. If you think about it, you imagine like a fighter jet on the ground. That's basically what a Formula 1 car is, with the wings turned upside down, forcing the cars into the ground. They produce so much downforce, these cars. The funny part about this track is it's actually one of the lowest downforce tracks on the calendar. So if you look at the rear wing, they look kind of flat. There you go, give a cheer for the guys on the left. Wait till that place is full, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? Yeah. So the wings are really flat, so in actual fact they're producing less drag, less downforce in a straight line, because on this track in particular, it's got one of the longest, I think it is actually the longest straight in the F1 calendar. It's well over a mile long, which we're going to be driving along shortly. So it's important that they get the exits good, it's important that they run the right downforce. In free practice 2 yesterday, we saw a lot of different downforce setups on the cars. Oh, nice to get cheers. Yeah, talk us through some of the downforce settings that they were testing through the practice sessions.
Yes, and as you were saying, a street circuit, and also it's kind of like backward, right? That these super long straights where, as you were saying, they bring a really low downforce, but also this makes it really challenging for the drivers when they come to corners like 3 and 4 or the ones we will see now. These are very long corners, and like you need the downforce really much. So they will have to find the grip somewhere else, maybe on tire pressure or just using softer compounds. So yeah, we saw yesterday different different downforce configurations. Even inside Ferrari, Carlos and Charles were using different configurations. So probably they did that because they wanted to try both things. So if they know both drivers are really good, and they can give really valuable information to the team. So that's why they chose to use different configurations and then make the group at the end, and then choose which one to use during the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So, like, the track's split into 4 sectors. There's 17 corners on this track, and the third sector, if you haven't already guessed it, is the fastest sector. Right? It's got the longest straight into some chicanes, and then another long straight over the start-finish line. So it's important to maximise the speed on those areas. As we expected, we saw some of the what we call the slippery cars. The Alfa Romeo, of course, being the fastest at the moment in a straight line, running the lowest downforce setting. You can see as you go into this section, it's super tight and twisty, so they've gone from a high-speed left-hand corner into a really tight chicane. When you watch this on the TV, the Formula 1 cars fly through here, it's like a little flash in the middle of a circle. You barely even notice that on section. But it's really important to get a nice exit from this corner. Again, one of the slightly higher downforce sections of the track is when we're carrying a bit more speed. So this is low downforce, heavy on the brakes, on the way in, and then into this tight section again as we come past the MSG sphere, which is insane, isn't it, this thing?
Yeah, and this is the closest the drivers will get to the wall, so obviously there's a lot of time on these 3 or 4 corners here, and they will risk probably everything here during qualifying. Just 1 meter, you go 1 meter inside, a little bit closer to the wall, and you can win a lot of tens. And yes, so coming now to almost the enter of the back straight. Of course, you can see the sphere here. It's an amazing atmosphere, an amazing scene, and it's great. I mean, the drivers won't be able to enjoy it too much, especially going to these corners. But yeah, for the show and for all of us, it's really great.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So for the Formula 1 drivers, one thing people don't really realise is that their bums are about 2 inches off the floor. And if you guys can kind of picture lying in your bathtub with your feet up by the taps, that's basically the position those guys are sat in. Their eye level is almost level with their feet, slightly higher, but their bottom is 2 inches off the ground. So as you're coming through here, obviously we've got like an aerial perspective compared to them. Their head is actually below the concrete wall when you look around the side of the track. So they see a lot less than we're seeing right now, which actually helps them focus a lot. The big sphere, they probably won't even notice whilst driving the car. I mean, I know that thing is hard to miss, right? During the Grand Prix, they're actually banning certain colours on that screen to make sure that it doesn't distract the drivers. Because as you say, when you're carrying 250 kilometers an hour through these corners, you don't need any distractions above and beyond what you're already focusing on, isn't that right?
Yes, and also it's night race, but the drivers will be using the really dark visor, probably even darker than in other races that they do during day, because all of these lights, it is really white lights, and as you say, a small distraction here from any driver, just a light that distracts you a little bit, and it's very hard. As we're coming now to the back straight, now coming to the strip area, so yeah, really long straight and fast straight. Yesterday they did 350 kilometers per hour at the end of the straight. So yeah, of course we will see a lot of overtaking opportunities here. And yeah, but the DRS doesn't open at the beginning of the race or of the straight. So they have almost half of the straight without DRS, and then they will have the opportunity to open it. So.
Yeah, let's just take a moment, guys. This is nuts, isn't it? Driving down this strip in Vegas with no one in the way, no traffic. This is pretty amazing stuff. Even for us, we enjoy all of this stuff. It's absolutely brilliant to see. Yeah, so as we talk about the main straight, it's the longest one on the F1 calendar. If you actually look back, you can see how narrow the street is for the Formula 1 guys. That last corner's super tight. The exit's like a magnet for the drivers. We'll probably see some people touching the wheel there when they're pushing the limit. That is the most in corner. Guys, turn around, get your phones out. Here comes the safety car. Looks like we're about to be overtaken by the F1 safety car. Put a mile on you. That's pretty awesome. You don't get to see that very often up close. So yeah, as we've got the longest straight on the calendar, these guys, like Kiko said, we're carrying like 350 kilometers down the straight, which is kind of insane when you think about it, right? And through the high-speed section back there, they're doing 250 k's into the corner. So 3.5 G, 3.5 times their body weight going left, turning right. These guys need to be fit and strong. Strong necks, immense endurance to be able to do 50 laps around a circuit whilst focusing in these bright lights of Vegas.
Yeah, and apart from being physically ready, of course, mentally, right? Because a small mistake in a normal racetrack, you can lose a lot of time, but here you can lose a race. So So they have to be really focused corner after corner. Of course, they have this long straight to relax a little bit and to lift the steering wheel so they can relax. But then they have to brake within 170 meters here at the end of the straight. So they have, of course, to be focused and just hit the perfect braking point, because coming 300 kilometers per hour, you brake 5-10 meters earlier and you're losing 1 or 2 tenths for sure. So it's very critical, because the drivers will, as I said, they will be quite relaxed after this long straight, but they need to be ready to hit the brake with more than 200 kilos only on the left foot. So.
Yeah, they're like threading the needle. That's what makes these drivers so special. You always watch them driving different cars built by different teams of engineers, and they all seem to be within half a tenth of a second of each other around a lap. You know, as long as this track, it's 6.2 kilometers long, this track, and the guys are a tenth of a second apart. You know, like I said, threading the needle. They're coming down here 360 k's. They're braking within a 20 meter difference basically every single lap. Right, if you think about 350 k's, how much distance you're travelling at that speed, and to be able to hit that brake point exactly right every time. You've got the marker balls on the side of the fences here, using for reference. Braking all the way down in a few seconds down to 85 kilometers an hour. Yeah, hold on tight, guys, we're still braking into a really tight section. So all of that speed, all of that momentum, braking down into a chicane. And what's up, guys? Say hello, there's our team. One of the things we should talk about is track degradation as well, and track evolution, I should say, really. One of the things we're going to see massively here, because it's a new track, is a street track. There's no other support races here, so it's just the Formula 1 guys driving down, laying down rubber each session. So what we're going to see, the difference between the last FP2, right, and into FP3 now, is some evolution. The track's going to get quicker, it's going to get grippier, the guys are going to drop the downforce even more to try and carry more speed. As they get more grip and the track evolves, they'll be able to carry more speed through the fast sections, right?
Yeah, and it was very dirty yesterday. We could see the track was really shiny, so that's because there's no rubber still on the track, so the more laps these cars do, the better it will be, especially for the race. So, and this is also something bad for the teams, because they don't know what to expect, right? So yesterday the track was completely different from today, I'm sure, especially in qualifying, with all the teams using soft tires every lap, and also tomorrow, and also the street is open to the traffic and some other sections of the track. So at the end of the day, road cars will be there, and they will make the track a little bit dirty. So it's a completely changing track. So yeah, we're now coming to the end of the lap. I hope you enjoy it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, guys, so you got the pit entry on the left, one picking the 20 meters to hold on as we slow down here. I hope you found that informative, enjoyed the tour of the Las Vegas track. You guys have an amazing weekend. We're excited to see it with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.